believe now, God, you've allowed me to see a picture of what my mind looks like. My mind is trashy. My mind is dirty. But because my mind is trashy and dirty, it does not mean that there are no good things in my mind. It's just that all the other things in my mind overshadow all of the good things in my mind. So I'm at a point in my life to where I gotta figure out, Lord, what do you want me to do? You can't possibly love me while my mind is in this condition. I can recognize what I've done and what I haven't done. I see all the stuff. All kind of things on my mind. I got bills on my mind. I have all kind of, the news is always on my mind. I'm eating myself out of depression and rejection, and I just mess things up because I don't have any control over my mind. But then you showed me something, God. You showed me something that was supposed to help me, but I figured if I did it one time, I wouldn't have to ever do it again. What you showed me, that there is a dirty filter somewhere in my mind. What blows through a filter? Air blows through the filter. In the Bible also calls the Spirit air from time to time. It's air that we breathe. And what happens is the air controls the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the air. And when the air goes through the system, what happens is the filter takes all of the impurities out of the air. So therefore, I can breathe freely without a whole bunch of toxic stuff getting into my place of worship. So in my spirit, what's wrong with my filter? Well, Lord, you told me I watch too much TV. That's what's wrong with my filter. I watch everything on TV. That's what's wrong with my filter. I let my kids listen to everything. That's what's wrong with my filter. We're always on the internet doing different things. That's what's wrong with my filter, because I've allowed my filter to be so full of mess. But what I have to realize from time to time, this filter cleaned me out from the first stage I was in. Now it's worn out and I need a new one. I'm depending on the same filter that I got when I was saved 25 years ago to fight off some things. And that filter is full. It's filthy. That's why it can't hold anything anymore. So you cannot depend on the anointing that you so-called had 25 years ago to work right now. Why? Because in different times, in different lives, things work differently. The word I love you means something different in years 1 and 2 than it does in years 40 and 50. Same 3 words, but they have a different meaning because we've grown through different things. There are some things that we can talk about in year 13 that we laugh about that would have broke us up in year 1. So what does that mean? My filter has got to be changed. So I can't deal with the problems in year 13 the same way I would deal with them in year 1. Because in year 13, God has proven himself to me that he would never leave me nor forsake me. But here I am, God. I'm here and I see my mind is just so full of mess. I see my mind is so full of junk. I've heard too many times what I'm not supposed to be. I've heard that I'm not this, I'm not that. So they tell me I can't be a plus-size person. They tell me I can't be a dark-skinned person. So therefore, I really don't know who I am. So I depend on what I see, what looks good to me, what feels good to me. They're knowing I will never, ever become this. So therefore, I have a low self-esteem based off of who you created me to be.
My God.
So I don't know who I am, but I am what everybody says what I am, and I'm trying to be something different. But my mind is so cluttered with all of this stuff. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Her hair is this. Her hair is that. She's got MAC makeup. She looks good. But maybe that's not the problem. Maybe I'm overweight for a man, and I can't find anybody, so I got to get myself involved in some sort of sports or something to get in shape. I really don't like sports, but the sports bring about a girl, and that's the best thing. I'm naturally gifted. And my parents pushed my natural gift before they pushed my spiritual gift. They invest in my natural gift but do absolutely nothing about my spirit. What happens is I break a leg, I don't have nothing to fall back on, all because I'm trying to be this. God didn't create me to be this. That's not my picture from this magazine. That's just a facade. So it's all a bunch of trash. But I'm used to living amongst filth. I'm used to looking. Since I can't see God here, I'm convenient. This is okay. This is perfect. perfectly fine. It's not that bad. I don't know how it got like this, but whether you realize it or not, what happens, all of these are spirits. With God, there's only one spirit. He is the Holy Spirit. So now my Holy Spirit has to fight against all of these other spirits, and these spirits are broken and torn. See, that's why when an evil spirit attacks you, you're a wreck, because it's not together itself. It's broken, it's torn. A depressive spirit is not a spirit that's going to kill you. A depressive spirit is a spirit that is going to torment you. Why? Because if he torments you, he always has somewhere to go. He will get you to the point of suicide, and just before you do it, he'll lay off of you, because if he kills himself and he hasn't found anywhere else to go, he's just wandering around. So he makes you feel like you're worthless. Somebody said, I'm gay. Yes, you're gay because you've been rejected by something.
My God.
That's the root of it, a rejection seed. You've been rejected by a father or rejected by a mother, so therefore you go for what's comfortable for you. But I want to let you know that your mind does not have to stay like this. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So God, I think I'm ready to get myself together, but I cannot come to you like this.
My God.
Whew. I can't come to you like this. So what I need to do is take some time and get away from everything. I want to get myself together before I get to church, because Jesus, I can't invite you into this mess. As if Jesus didn't already know what the mess was. He's probably walking around wondering, how in the world did all of this mess get in my temple? While you're looking around laughing at everything else, your body is a temple. Your mind is the temple of God. So therefore, you have to be mindful over what you watch, over what you see, because your mind is a temple. So what's happening with your mind? Think about this. In between your ears, when you say you all eyes this way, you've seen them before. When you say that you have a headache, right here, what do you call these? Your temples. And I just call them your temples because that's a part of your body. They say the mind is a temple. In other words, it is the temple of God. That's why you have to watch what you say. You have to watch what you look at. Watch what you hear. Because at any time you allow something in your mind, you give your mind a permission to create a thought. So now your mind is operating all on its own without you even knowing anything about it. Oh, I'm not that bad. The devil never starts off that bad. He always starts small and builds his way up, and it's always for something you like. So therefore, now that I've invited all of this negativity, how did all of this get here? The Bible says when one demon has been released from his house and he comes back and the house is clean, he goes back and gets 7 other ones stronger than he was. Why? Because I got a stronghold on you now. And I know there's a devil looking at me right now, but your time is numbered. Your days are numbered in the people of God. No longer will my mind be seeping into depression because I don't know who I am. I don't have to clean this mess up. Now, God, I'm here with you, Lord. And you tell me that I'm worth something to you. And all I see is mess. And I see my filter. It's all dirty. My filter's all nasty. What can happen? This is just who I am. And so since I know now that my filter is dirty and nasty, you're telling me that I have to go and redo something. I got to go back and I got to purge myself. Why? Because on this level, I can leave the dirty filter and now I have a brand new filter because I'm on a different level. I'm a little higher. What does that mean? I can tolerate more. I have more patience. I have more long suffering. I have more love in my heart. I have all of these different things. Why? Because, God, you told me I should be able to handle it because I acknowledged that what I was doing wasn't working. What you're doing ain't working. If you've been trying it for so long, what you're doing may not be working. It could possibly be somebody that's in your house. Because when you accept people into your life and into your house, you accept them and every demon. You could be going through a storm that's not for you, but because you're connected to somebody who's in a storm, you get to enjoy the rain right along with them. Amen. As Jonah, he got on a boat, and everybody on the boat had to suffer a storm because God was mad at Jonah. Ask somebody who's living with you, we've been going through hell. Is God mad at you? Am I harboring a fugitive?
My God.
Because Because when I harbor a fugitive, what happens? I get in trouble just like they do because I'm keeping somebody that the law was after. So there comes a time, I don't care if it's your son, your daughter, your niece, or your nephew, when the Spirit of God will not rest on your house because you have something in your house that God wants out of your house. You put your entire house, not the people under your roof, but your last name people are under risk because you're harboring somebody that God wants. Even if you're harboring them in your mind. He's married. You lost him. So you can't sit up and think about him because that's somebody else's house. She's gone. She's one with somebody else. You're the outsider now. In their eyes, God, there's a holy union between them. What are you doing here? Harboring somebody else in your mind. So I'm wondering, God, is there any good thing left in me? How can you find anything good out of all of this mess? I tell you what, I got to start cleaning up. I don't want everybody to know my business, so I'm not going to talk to nobody about it. So Lord, here. I tell you what, I'm going to start cleaning up my life one thing at a time. And then once I get my life clean, one thing at a time, I can go to God. God, you told me, Jesus, that I can just bring it to you. And I'm bringing you this. I'm giving it to you. Okay, that's one thing. Now I expect the wind to blow. And I expect everything else to be cleaned up. I expect because I have one worship service and I poured out to you one time, everything else should be clean now. My mind ought to be free for some reason. Things ain't happening as fast as they should. I'm still stressed out. I still got bills. I still got people talking about me. People still don't like me. They still, every sermon I think is about me. I still got a problem with people. So ain't nothing changed. All this Holy Ghost people talking about, turn around 3 times and shout and things gonna change. I've been turning around so much I'm dizzy. It ain't nothing changed. So I don't understand that. So what's the point of me? What's the point of me changing? I might as well take all of this stuff back because obviously you don't really care about me. Notice that Christ never fights you when you're trying to take something back. Only thing he does is stand there with an open arm and say, here, give it to me. Now you can get it back. I'm not going to bring it to you, but you're going to come to me and you're going to take it back, but I'm not going to fight you when you want to take it back. But then when you take it back, just know that everything that follows it, you don't understand what's going to happen to you once you take something back. Who wants to eat food that's been chewed already? If God has already, it's already chewed up. So that means it's already really nasty by the time you take it back. So now when God gives it back to you, he allows you to have it back. He allows you to have it back. It's already cursed. Because you put it into the hands of a miracle worker. You put it into the hands of a healer. You put it into the hands of somebody that's going to make everything all right. But then when you take it back, now you're putting something back into yourself that was already crucified on the cross. You get that in a minute. So now, Lord, you want to show me something. This is what they say that I am. This is what they tell me that I am. I'm trash. I'm nothing. They may not say it in those words, but anytime that they tell me that I'm not good enough by way of what I see on TV and by way of the friends that talk about me behind my back and they're smiling at me in my face, they're telling me that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy for certain things. When they gloat in front of me the things that they have, but yet still I struggle. They know my struggle. They're telling me that I'm not good enough. So God, I'm trying to be everything that I believe I should be. I'm trying to follow my own dreams. Obviously something ain't working. Following your own dreams opposed to God's plans will have you being 45 years old still chasing your dreams. What happens when your dreams are not in God's plans? What happens? What happens? What happens? And then that's when the enemy has you so wrapped up. But God says, we're going to walk around this mess together. And so I begin to walk and say, Lord, I'm going to walk in your way. And I need to figure out, Lord, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I come from. You see how I continue to trip over stuff in my own mind. The same stuff has been there, but I keep tripping over it.